Stampin' Friends. This is Lisa at Live and Let Stamp, and today I'm going to be making this cute little treat box using the bundle called Paradise Garden. And this is a look at the stamp set. So you get some nice stamps. Thank you, wishing you a lovely day, you make the world a better place, and this, you are appreciated. And I really love this because it's tiny, but that means that you can use a punch and or a smaller die and have a little sentiment for a treat box, because sometimes it's hard to find sentiments for that are little enough to put on a treat box. So I really love that one. It also includes dies, and you get some really nice dies. This one, it cuts out the leaves, but you can then lift the leaves up. So it's a pretty cool die that you can use as a background. And then you get dies that cut out pretty much every shape that's on the stamps, plus you get 3 sentiment dies, and you can use this one for that you are appreciated. I chose to use my punch on this one, but there is a die that will fit it, as well as the hexagon and the banner. And you can see the banner there and there on these 2 cards, and the hexagon is here. The colors in the DSP are so pretty. You have the shaded spruce, which I used here, and night of navy. It has this, I don't know if you can see this textured cardstock on this one. I will show you. So this is a specialty paper, and it's so vivid and beautiful, but it has a texture on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but you get the berry burst, and you get the night of navy, and you get the shaded spruce. So that's what I used on this particular card, and I kind of made it a fun fold. For this one, I used the ribbon, the berry burst ribbon that comes in the suite, which is on last chance. The bundle's sticking around, but it's going off of the suite price. So if you want to grab the entire suite, then you want to jump on there and get that before that sells out. It has the crushed curry. This is Poppy Parade. And I'll just show you really quick the pretty paper. So it has this really pretty leaf and flower print for the colors. Aren't they so pretty? I just love them so much. And you get more than one color on a sheet. So this has like the pumpkin pie and the crushed curry. And this one has the night of navy and the shaded spruce, which you can see on this one. Here's the shaded spruce. This is the navy part of that DSP. And then there's the backs, which, let me flip this for you. So the backs have like nice background papers that coordinate with their fronts. So that makes it easy to put a card together. It has Coastal Cabana as well. So it's just a really beautiful set of DSP and specialty paper, as well as you get the hybrid embossing folder if you get the bundle, or you can buy this separately. And it makes this pretty pattern, which I used as a background here on this one, and also on the panels here and here. And then that die, that large die, will fit inside. I didn't practice this ahead of time, but it does fit when it slots in. There it is. You know it's there when it doesn't move. And then you just do your paper, and it cuts those little leaf shapes where you can then pick up the leaf. So I don't have an example of that one made. But I thought today we'd go ahead and make the treat box. I haven't made one of those in a while. And we're gonna do that with the Poppy Parade. So I am gonna get this put up on my website shortly with all the measurements. Or I can actually write them down as we go. Well, that might be difficult. Anyway, so this is going to be 5.5 by 8. So I'm just going to cut off a 1/2 inch here because I know it's 8.5. Then on this 8-inch side, I'm going to score it at, get that out of the way so that I can score. So that's 1.5, 2 1/4, 4 3/4, and 5.5. And then on the 5.5 inch side, you want to do that at 3/4. 1.5. 4. And 4 3/4. So there's our basic scoring. And now we're gonna go ahead and do some cutting. So these are the new Stampin' Up! Paper snips that will be out in July, and they are so sharp. They are perfect for this. I don't even feel like I need to, you know, you could use your cutter to make straight cuts, but I'm just gonna follow the score lines, and I'm gonna cut out these 2 edges. I'm gonna do that on both sides. And this is the top flap of my treat box. Oh, I guess I should open it and show you. It holds 2 Ghirardelli squares. So wouldn't that be just such a nice thank you gift? You are appreciated, and they get a little bit of chocolate. Okay, and I'm gonna take off this one. And you're cutting to leave these 2 little squares on right now. We'll be taking care of those shortly. Okay. Okay, next I just want to take off these 4 little corners. These are so much fun to make. So cool to see it turn into a box. And you know, you just do this with a cutter, a scorer, and some scissors, and then whatever decorations you have. So you don't need a, you know, a special die to make the treat box. And then I need this to be a flap. So I'm just gonna cut to the score line. I did not cut that one very well. I'm gonna trim that one again. These scissors are so nice. Okay, so I have my flaps. And then I'm gonna trim that to the score line. I'm gonna trim that a little better too. Okay. Now, just to kind of make it easier to fit, I'm just gonna kind of just take off a little bit of these. They're not gonna show. They're gonna be safely tucked inside. So no worries. If they're not the same for each little flap, they're gonna be hidden. Got that little piece right there. Arr. Oh, drive me crazy. Okay, I didn't get that. Okay, so I'm just gonna take off a little bit here. It just makes sure that they fit inside when you fold the flap over them. So I'm recording this, doing this live here on June 23rd in Central Florida. Temperature is currently 88. Our high is in the 90s today, and our feels like, I believe, we'll hit 100. Okay, so now I'm ready to, I'm gonna grab my bone folder. Such a great tool. And I'm just going to fold on all of those score lines. I'm gonna fold them in. Do those all at once. Okay. And then I'm going to fold in this one and this one. All right, so now it's ready to go together. Oops, I don't think I did not. And doing these with a bone folder just is gonna help it, you know, fit together really well. All right, so if you put these little flaps down, you're gonna need glue on the outside of those because it's gonna go in like this. So glue on the outside, and I'm going to use my Tombow. And just put a little glue, little glue, little glue. And then I need some on the inside of the top piece here, because that's going to fold over. I'm going to do one side here at a time. The only tricky part. Just once you get it, it's great. Okay, got them in there. So now I'm gonna make sure they're nice and tight. I'm just gonna hold that a little bit. Make sure that glue stays. And now I'm gonna go do the other side. Maybe if I kind of push those in first. There we go. Just gonna hold those. Perfect. All right. So it will close like this. Let me just go ahead and show you how this opens. It has a ribbon tie. And when you untie the ribbon, it opens up and there are your Ghirardelli squares. And then you can just tie it back. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate. So I'm going to be using, I'm in here, Biscuit. I'm in here, buddy. What's the matter, buddy? So 2 1/4. I need a 2 1/4 inch strip of my decorative paper. And from that I can cut everything I need for the sides and top of my box. So I need 2 at 2 1/4. So these are squares, 2 1/4 square. I'm gonna need 2 of those. And I need 2 that are 1 1/4 for the short side of the top. Biscuit, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. And then I need 4, I keep going there, that are a 1/2 inch. Oh. He really never does this. And Michael's outside in the garden. Cooling fan around his neck. All right, so now we're ready to put these on. So on this one, I put the same decoration, but I'm wondering if maybe On the inside, it should be the inside. No, no, I don't like that. I'm gonna do them both. Come here, buddy. Come here, Biscuit. Oh. It's okay, honey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Biscuit. Did you bring me a toy? Thank you. He was bringing me a toy. Oh, thank you, Biscuit. Okay. So one on the outside. Oops, that's not very centered. And one on the inside. Okay. Same thing with the large squares. So Biscuit, if you follow my page, he's the tuxedo cat. He's a big boy. We have our cats on a little diet. We've been playing The Biggest Loser with them. So every 2 weeks we measure them and decide who's the biggest loser. And Mr. Biscuit was in the lead, but as of last weigh-in, Chamonix has taken over as the biggest loser. And then we just need to put the ones on the side. Using my Stampin' Seal. I got some on the paper, and I don't want to keep sticking to that, so I'll just roll that off. Perfect. Here, you could use liquid glue for sure. All right, and I found that the easiest way to do this is with my tweezers, so I can kind of see where it's going. It's the fastest to try to get it fairly even on both sides. There's one. Go. And there's two. I like that way better. You don't really get enough of the pattern where it matters which way's up or down, but sometimes it kind of looks better one way or the other. I don't know if you can hear that cat toy in the background. I think Biscuit wants to play. I may have to add that to my live checklist. Before you go on the air, put on Do Not Disturb, play with the cat. Okay, so now we're ready to do our ribbon and our circle. So I cut the circle using the Stylish Shapes dies. They are so versatile, so useful. And this is the white and gold, let's see what it's called officially here. It's white and gold ribbon. It doesn't have a fancy name. White and gold ribbon. And I'm going to use about 20 inches of it because it has to go all the way around the box and still give you enough to tie. Your new snips cut the ribbon beautifully. Okay, so this goes under the circle. So I'm going to kind of pull this where it's kind of even over here where I'm going to tie. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to put, just to help hold the ribbon, I'm going to put some glue here. And it doesn't matter if you can see through the ribbon or it seeps through the ribbon, like liquid glue sometimes does, because we're going to put this right over it. Now I only want to glue this on half because I need it to only adhere over that ribbon and be able to be lifted up. I'm using liquid glue, which is going to give me a little bit of give if I need to move it. I'm going to make sure I have no glue showing here, which I don't. And get that ribbon in the middle. And I just want to hold this. Give it a little hold. Okay, here we go. So I recommend putting those chocolates in right as you go. And I'm going to go ahead and tie this, which will keep it closed when I'm adding my decorations on top. So I like to turn it on its side. So my mama taught me. The under one is the one you want to loop around. So I'm going to make the loop here, and I'm going to loop around there. And make my bow. And you can leave those long tails on, or you can cut them off. Now, I wouldn't cut them off too short in case you need to open it and retie it. You know, like you find out somebody, you know, only eats dark chocolate, so you have to get in there and get that milk chocolate out, or vice versa. All right, so we'll just have that out of the way. And then we're just gonna add our decoration and our sentiment. So I used the stamps from the Paradise Garden, and I did a stamp off. So let me show you how I did that flower. So that's how it's going to turn out. So if I did it with the Poppy Parade, it looks like this. And I really thought it was pretty, but you know, it's just really bright. And that paper is really more muted. So I wanted it to kind of match the paper better. So this is my stamp. And I need a little piece of paper to do my stamp off. And this is just, you know, scrap paper, copy paper is what I usually use. And put on this one. So I'm gonna ink up. Let me make sure you can see this. Get that out of the way. Make sure this is visible here. So I'm gonna ink it. Stamp on the paper, and then stamp on the cardstock. And you can see the difference there, and then you're just going to use your die to cut that out to make this. And then the leaf, I chose to go with, instead of shaded spruce, I decided to go with old olive. Again, it kind of tones it down a little bit. This is the 4-leaf spray of leaves, and I'm not going to stamp off on this one. And then you just go ahead and die cut those, and you have your leaf and flower. And the only other thing we need to stamp is our sentiment. And I did that in the Poppy Parade. And to be all honesty here, I did forget that there was a die in the Paradise Garden dies to fit this. And I did the punch instead. So I love this punch because it does little sentiments or even just, you know, little pieces of cardstock to like put behind a sentiment or a image. But I decided to go with this one. Whoop. And punch that right out. I like the flag shape. Okay, so to put it together, I'm going to put the flower together first. So you'll notice only the bottom two leaves are showing. I'm going to cover those top two. That's what I'm actually going to glue to. So I'm going to, whoop. This is a fairly new glue, and I was storing it upside down. So it has a lot of glue coming out. And then you just kind of move that around until you can't see those other leaves. Like that. And then we're going to put that entire thing on the top. I experimented with all kinds of different looks. I did this big leaf spray, which is pretty. You could do that. I tried doing like a large flower with the leaf spray, without the leaf spray. And very pretty, but it was just seemed to be a lot. So I just kept going back to simple, and this is simple. That's gonna go right there. And then the sentiment. This strip is a perfect time to use your edges of your dimensionals. These are dimensionals from a kit. Always have extras, which is awesome. And then you just take that little strip, and we're just gonna put that right on that, right over the stem. We definitely want our leaves to show. Try to center it as best I can. There you have it. A treat box. Beautiful. Who wouldn't love to get that little treat as a thank you? So pretty. So pretty. All right, so let me pull these cards out here. And again, I'm going to have put this up on my website, liveandletstamp.com, as you can see there. Have pictures of these cards. And if you order the Paradise Garden bundle or suite with me as your demonstrator, I will send you all of the cardstock and ribbon. Oh, I forgot to put these on. Let's see what we have here. These are the garden epoxy dots, and these are on Last Chance. And I think this works. I think I'll even use their little flowers. It's so cute. See the little flowers inside the epoxy. Really pretty. That adds a nice touch. So I will send you the cardstock in DSP. I'll even send you the ribbon and the dots that you need to make these 4 projects if you go ahead and purchase. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to see your comments. I do read those and appreciate them very much. You are appreciated. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy stamping!